Welcome back, everyone. It's Who's57 here. We are back on Neverwinter on the Xbox One, and today this will be the, third video that I'm doing, so third part of the series. A lot of you asked me to cover the daily and weekly quests for all the different campaigns, so today we will be in the Dread Ring, and I have saved up the majority of the quests, so I'll be able to cover pretty much all of them for you. There might be a couple that I missed just because I don't have them. So for dailies, now it changes. There's usually 3 different ones that you can get, but for today we had the Ritual of the Dragolich. The weekly quest is the Red Wizards. It's extremely easy, and it gives you a lot of campaign currency as well as refinement points, so you definitely want to take that. And then I will quickly show you the list of the other quests. Now I have a ton of quests in my inventory. They're not all for the same area, so right now we have the Ritual of the Dragolich, Contingency, Slay Living, Silence, Pyrotechnics, Undeath to Death, Unseen Servant, Dimensional Anchors, Gentle Repos, and the Red Wizards, as far as quests that we will be doing here in the Dread Ring. Now I just need to put a couple things real quick into my bank so I have room to actually pick up the items that we need to pick up for this quest. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to throw my lock boxes in there since I have my inventory full from doing other videos. Not really a big deal, but you know, hey, just make a little bit of room real quick and then we'll be done. You need about 6 inventory slots and you're good. Also, since we'll be doing the actual daily quest that involves you going through a mini dungeon, go over here and pick up your gauntlet. In this case, I have mine upgraded to the Platinum Gauntlet. As you can see, I do have all of Dread Ring unlocked. Dread Ring is a very important campaign to do. It's the second easiest of all the campaigns, yet its boons are some of the best that you can get. So it's definitely worth doing your Dread Ring campaign every day, as well as the quests give you a lot of refinement points, and you'll see that at the end of the video. So I kind of like to go in a little bit of an order. These guys you can just run past, so don't worry about them. But we have 2 quests that we can do right here, one of which is for slaying these servitors here in the arsenal. It's super easy to do. You normally find them about 3 at a time. I am on, of course, you guys probably already realized, but my control wizard, and he is level 70. This area is easiest to do on a DPS class. Support classes do have a little bit of a problem with this area, simply because the enemies take a little while to die. Now, we'll be doing 2 quests at once here, the Slay the Living and Rod of Cancellation, which we need 3 pieces for the Rod of Cancellation, and basically it's really easy. If you don't know where they are, you look for these little hooded cobra statues. And I just got stuck on that one for some reason. But you look for these little statues and there's a box. One's yellow, one's blue, and one's red. Basically only one person can interact with it at a time, and then it'll disappear and reappear a couple seconds later. Now if you are in a group doing these, pretty much all of these daily quests you actually have to do individually. So here's the 3rd piece right here. And then we just have to go up there to that giant purple sphere, and this is the quest Contingency, so really easy to do. You can do multiple ones at the same time, and it just makes this area go by a lot faster. And as soon as it lets me, there we go. So that one's done. The next thing we need to do is just continue to slay some of these servitors here. Wow, he ran away from me. Okay. That's usually not what they do, but that's okay. I guess he didn't want to die this time. And there we go. Now we also have to do another quest in here, which is gather, it's the Gentle Repos, gather necromantic wards and place them on the coffins. And basically you just have to kill red wizards to get the necromantic wards. And those are easy to find. They also count for the Red Wizards quest, so you'll be taking care of another 2 quests at the same time. Again, DPS builds work best for doing this. If you are a support class, like say a tank or a cleric, you may want to bring somebody else along with you. Not saying that you wouldn't be able to do it, because I do these quests solo every day on my paladin. It's just, it goes quicker if you have somebody with you that can do more damage. Only because you have a lot of stuff that you have to kill in this area. And basically we just need to kill 3 of these invokers. Each one will drop a necromantic ward. If you're doing this quest with another person, each one of these will drop a necromantic ward for each person. And that way you can actually pick them up and get them done a little bit faster. I normally don't like having to fight the iron golems just because they can stun you. But other than that, it's not really hard to go through this area. The iron golems take the longest to kill. And once you do that, we'll have our last necromantic ward. And we'll go ahead and place those and be done with this quest. There's that stun from the iron golem that I was telling you about. Just finished up that weekly quest, the Red Wizards. That weekly is probably the easiest weekly that you can get almost anywhere. And of course, before I can place that, I'll have to kill these guys because they respawn. Not really a big deal. They'll go down really quick. And then just wait for you to be out of combat. There's the second ward. And the third coffin pile that I go to is normally right over here. And this coffin pile is the least defended, so if you're looking for ones that you don't have to do a lot of fighting at, this one's that. Just wait for whatever the invisible thing is that's aggroed on me. And there we go. Now we're going to go off to Silence. Silence is another easy quest. It's basically just kill 5 Dreadhounds in the quarry area. And it's a pretty easy quest to do. Basically all the quests in this area are easy. It just takes time. Now I decided to group all these quests together instead of doing basically like 3 or 4 parts for each area. Like for the Dread Ring, instead of doing 3 or 4 videos, I just grouped all the quests into one video just to make it easier and consolidate the amount of recording that I had to do, as well as make it easier for people to find the video. Now I covered the Icewind Dale area, and I will be covering the Sharndar area. Those videos will be, or those areas will be broken up into several different videos based upon the territory. So for Icewind Dale, you have Icewind Pass, and then you have the Dwarven Valley. But Dread Ring is just one big area, so it doesn't really matter. And these guys are pretty easy to kill. The only bad thing about them is if they do that pounce attack, they'll knock you to the ground and stun you, so that can make it take a little longer than it needs to. Now we're looking for one more Dreadhound. There he is. Usually they come in groups of 2. Sometimes they come in groups of 3, but it's usually just a group of 2, so it can take a second to kill them. So Silence is done. As soon as I kill this group of enemies so I can get back on my mount, we'll go do the Dimensional Anchor quest. It also helps if you have at least a 110% speed boost mount, because this area is pretty large, so you have to run around and occasionally get stuck on random rocks. But you do have to cover a lot of ground, and that's why I like my... Well, I've got 110% speed boost mount on this character, but I am attempting to get the coastal flail snail on my paladin. So if you have 140% speed boost mount, that makes it just a lot easier. Now, it says gather planar residue from devils. There are really no devils here. As far as name, it's an enemy type. I was confused at first when I did that, but the devils are considered the imps. So it's really easy to get the planar residue. Sometimes items will glitch out on the ground and you can't seem to pick them up. But it's just weird like that. And that's that. Basically, one group of those imps, you can get all the planar residue that you need from, and then move on. So to the pyrotechnics quest. This pyrotechnics quest is a little more annoying because you kind of got to wander around this area to find the crates of blasting. They're usually not very well guarded, so you don't have to worry about a whole lot of enemies to fight. And we're also going to accomplish killing enemies here for the bone fragments. So again, working on 2 quests at once. Sometimes when you pick up the crate of blasting, skeletons will respawn right behind you, which is fine. We'll just go ahead and kill them. Also, killing enemies in this area gives you those little black onyx fragments, or onyx fragments, whatever you want to call them. And those are really good because you can trade them in for Vanguard script, and you can use the Vanguard script to do farming. I'm just going to pull these couple groups together to make it a little easier to kill since they did spawn behind me. And there was a group in front of me that I would have had to go through anyways, so we need to kill them, and we'll just kill them pretty quick. Come on, let me pick up that bone fragment. And I just normally double check for that. There's an onyx fragment. I need one more crate of blasting. You do have to run around and find them, but normally there's one right here. Of course, I have to get off my mount to get it. And we'll just run away from those guys. Now you have this group of enemies up here that you have to fight unless somebody else has killed them in order to actually throw the explosives down the mine shaft. And he was nice enough to drop me another bone. And I completed Undeath to Death, so technically working on 3 quests at the same time in this area. Now all we need to do is get some more bones from the undead. So looking for these skeletons. There's one more bone, 2 more bones. Hey, each one gave me a bone. Awesome. Now we have to go throw the bones over here into this rock grinder. But before you can do that, you have 2 dread protectors and a couple little enemies that you have to kill. They die really quick, so it's not really a big deal. Chuck the bones in there. It'll spawn this enemy that basically a mini boss that you have to defeat. If someone else is fighting this boss and you are at this point on the quest and you help them kill it, it will count as quest completion for you as well. So that's another nice thing about this area. Now I do have to go into my journal and reset, as you'll see, contingency, stay living, or slay living, my bad. Silence, Pyrotechnics, Undeath to Death, Unseen Servant, Dimensional Anchor, Gentle Repose, and the Red Wizards are all done. The only one that we will be doing now is the Draconic Alchemy, which is the daily quest. Oh, actually, sorry, no, I had the wrong one, my bad. God damn, I selected the wrong one. That's for the Well of the Dragons. I look like an idiot now. Ritual of the Dragolich is the one that I want. Can't believe I did that. I have too many quests in my inventory. And the Ritual of the Dragolich also takes place there in the Dread Spire. So that's like the little mini dungeon that you have to go through. And of course you can do it solo if your character's built correctly, or you can take a team through with you. If you take a team, it goes faster. And you do have to deal with this little loading screen here that should go away anytime. Thank you. There we go. Now, because I am running solo and I just want to conserve potions, I am using shield. If you guys are familiar with my Control Wizard build, normally I will have slotted in the RB slot either Conduit of Ice or Disintegrate. But for this purpose, I just want to use shield so I don't have to go through as many potions. Also, I like to pull groups of enemies together. Now, depending on your class, you might not be able to take the hits from all these enemies. And so you might actually have to fight in multiple locations. I can afford to take some hits, so I'll usually pull the enemies to the golem. And this will be the first spot that I fight at. I usually like to have my daily ready so I can stun them all, but Steal Time also works pretty well. And then I use Oppressive Force as soon as I get it. And that will take care of pretty much all of these guys, except for, of course, the Iron Golem. The Iron Golem, you do have to dodge that one attack so he doesn't stun you. But pretty much, yeah, they die. And that's why I pull the groups together. And then you just want to run around and check for your Onyx fragments. If you need gold, you should definitely go ahead and make sure that you pick up those little statuettes and the bowls that drop on the ground, because they're good for you. And you know what? We all like gold, so especially with the strongholds. If you're contributing a lot of gold into your guild stronghold, you want to make sure that you pick up pretty much all the gold and all your gems. I know the rank 4 enchantments and the rank 3 enchantments aren't really worth that much, but with the amount that you need for the stronghold, you pretty much want to pick up everything. Now, if you are playing with a group and you have the defense to actually take the hits, you can run through this entire area. You can literally go from the beginning part all the way to the section with the 4 books that you have to destroy, and then just fight at that location. I don't really have enough health to do that, so I normally fight in 2 or 3 spots before getting to the actual main library area, which is this area. And then you just want to make sure that you pull them. And yeah, my health bar is going down, but it really won't be a big deal. I have a decent amount of life steal, and there's also a bonfire up that corridor there, so we'll be able to go there shortly and get my health back if I need to. Not entirely sure why it keeps acting like something's aggroed on me, because that normally doesn't happen. I think I might have just run into a bit of a bug. Now, I like to burn all 3 of these research little book things before going to this one that's up by the statue, because when you go to burn this book, there's a imp that comes down and will attack you, as you see there, and it triggers the next wave of enemies to spawn. The most dangerous one here is that Rimfire Golem, because he can really stun you for a long period of time, and he does a pretty good amount of damage to you. So these enemies I will kind of dance around a bit, just because I want to avoid those attacks. But you can also freeze them really quick. As you can see, everything died except for the Rimfire Golem. Rimfire Golem's still alive, and he just does that to kind of piss you off. Or at least I think he does that to piss you off. And he should be dead pretty quickly now. Yep. Now he does explode when he dies, so just kind of run away from him. And there we go, there's the boss. Now you do have this little cutscene that you have to watch, and there's no way to get rid of it. I really wish there was, but sadly you can't. You have to watch it every time. Now, he can do a pretty good amount of damage to you. He does spawn usually a couple servitors with him. They really don't do all that much damage. You can stun him with Steal Time. You can freeze him, but he only stays frozen for like half a second, or stunned for half a second. If he does that attack, he's immune to damage that you deal, so you want to get behind him to knock him out of that attack. As you can see, I just stunned him there, prevented him from using that spin attack. He got that one on me. Like I said, he does a good amount of damage. That missed me. Now see, when he does that attack, you have to get behind him to knock him out of it, as well as then he can't regen his health. And he should be dying very shortly. Now your gauntlet, which in my case is a platinum gauntlet, opens this chest here on the right. Power stone, okay, I'll take that. More refinement points. And then for the quest, you open this chest here on the left, and it can give you a bunch of different stuff. In this case, I didn't really get anything good. I got a piece of junk green, level 70 gear, and I basically got a union stone and a couple other odds and ends from it. But the reason why you do that particular quest, you have to do that one every day to get your Thayan Cipher, which every time you go to advance in the campaign for the Dread Ring, you need the Thayan Cipher. Now, I can simply just run back to Sergeant Knox, but we're going to go ahead and cheat the system. Since I have VIP 7, I'll just kill myself, and I'll respawn almost right to that area. I'll respawn actually at the second bonfire from there. It's actually a lot faster unless you have a 140% speed boost mount. However, you do burn a lot of injury kits if you do that on a consistent basis, unless you have VIP 7 or better. And now to turn in everything. All your little daily quests will give you basically XP, silver, the Vanguard script, which is very useful, and a Dread Ring artifact bag. That Dread Ring artifact bag, you'll see when I'm done turning in these quests, actually gives you a good amount of refinement points. And that's why you really want to do your daily quests for this area every single day, even after you've completed your boons. Just because this area is really good for getting refinement points for leveling up all of your gear, and well, you all know you need a ton of refinement points for leveling up your gear.
Not many.
So we're just gonna run around here and turn in all of these lovely quests.
Diligence in a situation.
Get some silver, some XP, and all kinds of stuff, and then I'll show you what you get from those quests here in a second. Turn in the Red Wizards. That one is a weekly, so it gives you some extra rough astral diamonds. And go ahead and get that out of my inventory. You'll see I've got 1, 2... Actually, I have 8 of those. So, got a stability stone from the one. Now, they're bound to character, so you can't transfer them between characters, which is the only disappointing thing about this. But you can do these quests on, you know, all your characters, so you might as well just go through, do them on each character, and get all the refinement points that you need. Or at least that's what I do. Got a bunch of, you know, stability stones, lesser stability stones, a couple minor stability stones off of it. So I got some stuff that's not, you know, worth a whole lot, but then I got some other things that's, you know, actually worth a pretty good amount. We'll go ahead and open that artifact trove. which actually gave me Power Stone, Union Stone, Lesser Power Stone, Lesser Stability Stone. So that one gave me quite a bit of stuff. Those I'm just going to get rid of so that I can go ahead and open this last pouch. That was another Union Stone. I really like it when they give me the blue stones because of the fact that those are worth 5,000 refinement points. So as you can see, I got multiple blue stones, green stones, and regular ones. So I got well over, from doing all of that, well over 20,000 refinement points. And if you save those for a double refinement event, you have over 40,000 refinement points from doing that. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, comments, anything like that, make sure you leave a comment. If you're having trouble with a quest that I didn't cover, because there are a couple that I didn't have yet on this area, make sure that you leave a comment, send me a party invite, whatever. I'll be more than happy to help you. Otherwise, go ahead, smash the like button and subscribe for more content. Also, if you really like the video, go ahead and share it and help me get to 5,000 subscribers. So thanks for watching.